If you've ever been apprehensive about traveling to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, let me clear up some of your anxiety. Recently, I took a 7-day trip to Rio de Janeiro, and I absolutely had the best time of my life. And that's not an exaggeration. Even the Uber ride was an experience. The weather was kind of shaky at first, as you can tell by the rain hitting the windshield, but it quickly cleared up. On the way to the hotel, I couldn't help but to notice all the murals and the graffiti on the buildings. I was taken aback how stunning the views were just from the Uber ride alone. The city seemed so colorful and vibrant. I was truly taken aback. To be honest, I was nervous, but I was also overtaken with excitement in anticipation of what Rio de Janeiro had in store for my visit. I mean, just look at it. Just take a moment and look at the views as we ride along. During the ride, I couldn't help but to notice the famous favelas. They were everywhere. My Uber driver told me that he actually lived in one. He gave us the history of them, which was kind of unique. One fact is that the Brazilian government does not even take a census on the people living in the favelas. So they have no idea how many people are actually in there. Right now, you're looking at schools inside of the favelas. The yellow and blue buildings, yes, are actually schools. Another fact is that the favelas are actually safe for the inhabitants. I was told that those living in there really looked out for one another, and there was a certain code that you had to abide by, and that was do not steal from anyone. If one did, they may have to suffer some dire consequences. I have never seen anything like this in my life. I truly enjoyed the lesson on the favelas, but I was anticipating on what the rest of Brazil actually looked like. And I was about to get a glimpse of it. Finally, we had come across some mountains and trees. The beauty of it all. It wouldn't be long until we reached our destination, which was the Hilton Copacabana Hotel. The famous Hilton Copacabana Hotel, may I add. Finally, we arrive at our hotel, check in, and find that the room had exceeded my expectations. It was spacious, had 2 windows, and not pictured, but a nice bathroom with a bidet. And the views. The views, the views, the views. Here's another quick look at the room before I show you the window views of what I was looking at being on the 12th floor. Here we are. I was taking it all in. I was finally in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. My trip so far has been amazing. So again, if you had any apprehension at all about visiting Rio de Janeiro, let me go ahead and relieve some of your anxiety. I felt really comfortable at the hotel because it had security and you needed to use your room key to get to every floor. But look, that's not why I'm here. I'm on vacation, remember? I couldn't wait to check out the beach, so here I go. I made myself a cocktail to relax from the long flight. Arrived on a Thursday, so the beach wasn't packed, which I actually liked because I had a chance just to walk around and get a good feel of the beach and the people. There were kids playing, couples enjoying one another, people laughing. Everyone seemed to be having a very good time. And the ocean, just listen at those waves. Wow. I decided to venture out near the street where I saw people congregating, just having a good time, playing football, having drinks, enjoying the day. And it was a beautiful one. Still getting acclimated to my new environment, I decided to take a stroll on the strip, where I saw the native Brazilians and other vacationers having a good time. But what excited me the most was the bartender. I needed a drink. It was time for an adventure. I ventured out to Angra dos Reis, where I was going to get on a speedboat for the very first time. Friends and I were going on a 4-island tour. Look at us, about to have one of the best times of our lives. Just look at this. If I had to use one word to describe what I was looking at, it would be stunning. The feeling of being out on the open ocean in the speedboat was exhilarating, to say the least. Side note, I planned all activities through the Viator app. Information about the tours will be in the description box below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you are enjoying the content. We were on our way to the first island, where I planned on snorkeling, also for the first time in my life. Look at how clear and blue the water is. And there I go, swimming with the fish. The underwater footage was captured with my GoPro Action 5. So far my trip was simply amazing. It was safe, it was fun, and I was surrounded by beautiful nature. After swimming with the fish, we decided to have a drink before heading to the next island. Needless to say, I was very excited. A side note, I was actually here on vacation celebrating my 50th birthday. What a way to celebrate a half century of living. I was truly grateful. I hope that you're enjoying the journey so far. And again, if you had any hesitation or reservations about visiting Brazil, Rio de Janeiro in particular, I hope that I'm dispelling or eliminating some of those fears. Here we are at the next beach. Look at it. And of course, being that I'm celebrating my birthday, I'm going to have to capture my moments. So please enjoy a brief photo shoot of yours truly, me. I have to give a shout out to my tour guide, Bruno, who was absolutely amazing. Thank you, Bruno. It's time for more island hopping. Look at us go. It won't be long now until we arrive at another beautiful island. We made it. Here, I did another brief photo shoot, and we ate the most delicious lunch that I've had in Rio de Janeiro thus far. Here is where we ate. Look at it. The food and drinks were delicious, but that's a whole nother video. Now, let's just focus on the trip. Look at the beautiful, colorful beach houses. The tour itself was about 5 hours, and it was starting to get dark. So it was time to end this adventure, but not before I could capture more stunning images of Angra dos Reis. Being in Brazil is a dream come true for me. Just being able to live in and capture these moments, priceless. Now off to the next adventure. Fitness is very important to me. After all, I am a certified personal trainer. I decided to get a workout in at the fitness center in the Hilton Copacabana. I was very surprised and happy to see that the gym had free weights. I decided to focus on the vanity muscles, chest, triceps, biceps, a little back, and then I was going to head to the beach to fulfill a dream of mine of working out on the beach. At 50 years old, it's very important to try to maintain as much muscle mass as possible. Here, I'm doing the bench press, which is a compound movement. It works the entire body. It feels really good to be getting a pump in. Here, I'm doing a little bit of tricep work. My channel is centered around fitness, and it's my goal to motivate anyone and everyone to develop a fitness routine in order to stay in shape and to live the best life that you could possibly live. And when you go on a vacation like this, you would feel and look great. So how about it? Start your fitness routine today. Now for some hammer curls. Now for some cable chest presses before heading outside. Finally on the beach, at the pull-up bar. Look at the weather. Man, it felt so great. The sun was out, almost no clouds in the sky. It was hot. It was picture perfect. I ended my workout with a few dips on this picture perfect day on Copacabana Beach. After the workout, I decided to cool off by taking a dip at the pool on the rooftop of Hilton Copacabana. The water felt great and the dip was so refreshing. Before leaving the rooftop, I decided to take in the views. They were absolutely stunning. I just loved being here, celebrating my 50th birthday. The views of Rio de Janeiro from up here are absolutely beautiful. I keep saying that, but it's true. Look at it. I even caught a glimpse of Price Redeemer from up here. After taking in the views, I treated myself to the best acai. And when I tell you it was the best acai, and that's not an overstatement, look at all the flavors. You too can experience this bliss when you visit Rio de Janeiro. There was even sorbet in all kinds of tropical flavors. finally, there were toppings galore. They were the icing on the cake. It just made the experience. One word to describe: delicious. After indulging in such a guilty pleasure, it was time to walk the strip. This walk would serve as my cardio workout, as well as burning off the calories from that delicious acai bowl. The strip was the strip and we walked for miles. But what I wanted to do was hit the beach. With a fresh coconut in hand, I was taking in the sights. There were gorgeous people everywhere. The vacationers and the locals were very friendly. Again, I had no issues on this trip. It was perfect, and I do mean perfect. I was drawn to that turquoise blue water. It felt great. The day was picturesque. Look at those waves. Look at the people enjoying themselves. This vacation is definitely shaping into one to remember. For you younger people watching this video, again, I'm 50 years old. If you take care of your body while you're younger, it'll take care of you as you age. After all, age is nothing but a number. On day 4, it was more the same during the day. The beach, the strip, relaxing. But at night, my friends and I booked a bar crawl tour via the Viator app. The first stop was the Selarón steps. From there, we ventured off to the streets. As you can see, everyone was just having a good time. There was nothing to fear here. However, I will say that having a tour guide definitely contributed to the safety of my group and I. Even at night, Rio was beautiful. Make note of all of the food vendors and also the beautiful arches in the background. Here's a glimpse of the Lapa district right on the outside of Rio de Janeiro. After walking and taking in the sights, it was finally time to hit the bars. The bars were lively, and it was a treat to hear authentic Brazilian music. wonderful night and great memories made here in Brazil. On day 5, we took a tour to see Christ the Redeemer. Here are some views of Rio de Janeiro on the way up to see one of the 7 wonders of the world. And yes, that's a monkey. They greeted us on the way up. It was surprising to see that the monkeys didn't bother us at all. They were just content playing in the trees, looking at us. Finally, we reached the top. What amazement. I had to pinch myself to make sure that this was real. I'm sitting here looking at one of the 7 wonders of the world, an icon in the movies, Christ the Redeemer. Our next stop was at the Mario Filho Stadium, a well-known football stadium, meaning soccer, in Brazil. Next, we visited the Rio de Janeiro Cathedral, which is dedicated to Saint Sebastian, a patron saint of Rio de Janeiro. The views inside of the cathedral were simply spectacular, to say the least. Leaving the cathedral on the way to the Selarón steps, I captured more images of the favelas. Now here we are, walking to one of the famous tourist destinations, the Selarón Steps. We were back in the Lapa district. This time it was during the day. The steps were crowded, but I managed to capture the moment. The next stop was Ipanema Beach. Man, what beautiful people. It was crowded, it was hot, it was nice, it was perfect. The beach had a lot of action going on. The beach was very active. People at play, kids everywhere, sunbathers, and me having lots of cocktails, taking in the views. After people watching for a while, I just wanted to capture the roaring ocean, how majestic and peaceful it was. The tours have finally ended and my vacation is winding down, so I decided to take a stroll on Leme Beach. I was headed to what looks like an overlook. There were restaurants on this little strip, which leads me to a point where if you're traveling, most of the places in Brazil take credit cards. So if you decide to travel here, convert a little bit of cash, but you would probably use your credit card more than anything. From this view, you can really see how long the strip is. During my stay, I walked the whole entire thing. It's my last day in Rio. I have a late flight, so I decided to soak up some sun and take in the last views of my time here in Rio de Janeiro. One of the last images that I would see was the Duque de Caxias with a Brazilian flag waving in the wind. The image was very fitting. Sadly, it was time to leave. I arrived at the GIG airport with nothing but great memories dancing around in my head. Rio de Janeiro was definitely a great experience and the best birthday present I could give my 50-year-old self. YOLO. So hopefully by you watching this video, I cleared up a lot of negativity about visiting Rio de Janeiro. Until next time, adios.